is really going very, very well. So right now we are having an excellent time watching this. I'm having a pleasure learning to cast. The controls, there's a lot of stuff that's all very new to a lot of people sort of around the area. It's not something we've had before, but so far it has proven to be a lot of fun. So if you guys do have feedback throughout this process, please feel free to send it to me. You can tweet it to me at ToffeesTV over on Twitter. I'd love to hear your feedback or sort of get points of interest from you guys. And sorry, getting messages. Looks like we are locking the servers. We're waiting for the last players to jump in, and then we are going to get going. So we are just minutes away from round 3 of this match. And we don't have the scores in from round 2 just yet. So these players do have the downside of going in a little bit blind to what they need in terms of kills, etc. Remember, the scoring is very laid back. 1 point per kill. First place, though, is 30 points. So again, this sort of it follows the same focus that I think PlayerUnknown chose when he built this game, which is winning is everything. You can go through this entire game and win without a kill and still come out ahead in points unless somebody who was in second or third place just went absolutely killed bananas, right? Because if you get third place with 10 kills, you get the same amount of points as first place with no kills. And I think that really lives up to the game system, sort of what they're going for with the design, and I like it quite a lot. So these teams getting ready to go in. It looks like we are all set. We're all set to get this thing underway. Round 3, guys. The big winner gets the chicken dinner. He's over here. Just switch sides on me. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get this thing started. Here it comes. Click, baby. Click to play. One of my favorite buttons in this game. PUBG, over 2 million. I think it's almost 3 million copies sold. I heard that they sold 700,000 copies during the Steam sale. Like, so many people wanted to buy this game that they were literally waiting till the last minute. And it didn't go on sale, and they still sold 700,000 copies. So, people, not just me, be loving the PUBG. And I gotta be honest, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying watching it. Now I'm just, okay, there it is. So now we're going into game here. I'll just pull it up. You don't want to see my ugly mug. You probably want to see the map. Watch these players getting ready for what they're up to. So without further ado, let's just transition over to it as we get loaded in for round 3 of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Auzom, or I don't say Auzom Invitational. I guess maybe hopefully that happens sometime. But right now, it's the Auzom playtest. My name's Toffees. You can find me at ToffeesTV if you're interested in finding out about future casting, finding out about more tournaments, if you like Dota 2, and of course, if you're into PUBG, because, gotta be honest, I am absolutely loving this game. I play a lot of solo, that's my competitive, but squads, certainly a whole lot of fun, a very different dynamic, little less camping and hiding in bushes. So it's one of those things where I think for broadcast purposes, you really want to watch the squads, but for everything else, you got to think maybe, just maybe, solo is really nice. Wait for these teams to get started. We got a countdown, 52 seconds left on the clock. The shooting has begun. The base is here. The island is in the distance. A beautiful afternoon to play a little bit of PUBG here on this Sunday. If you're watching on the East Coast or in America, it's evening time, 4 o'clock. If you're watching across the world, well, I'm glad to have you here. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. This is exciting. 25 seconds left. Now, a lot is going to weigh on some of these teams, right? We've got a couple of teams that know that they are in the hunt, but they're not up there yet. Ja is still definitely sitting in a position to potentially be first with the Adika crew. Needs More Natasha has been able to consistently finish strong, though not where they want to. That's King 2v1, Benito, Elian. It's 5. They're very good players. They've been very effective in this game so far. They got 3rd in the first game. I believe they got top 10 in the second. So there's a very potential chance that they may actually also be able to pull up to a second or first position. So also a big onus on them to perform well. Now we are in the plane, so let's watch these guys deploy as they get going. Now Natasha's team is going to be the first ones out as they do a big drop right towards, I'm not really sure what they're going for here. Let's see. Looks like they're going for small town. They're not even going to mess with Lippo. They know, okay, so these guys have been running the math in their heads. They have a rough idea of what they need to accomplish in order to win this game, to get the points they need to stay ahead. They're going to go for a casual open, okay? They stop. They're going for a very safe location. They're going to loot there and not risk early massacre, because that's the only thing that could really lose this for them, is finding themselves completely out. So they're going to very smartly play off the beaten path. You gotta love smart play. Let's see what else we're looking for. The King down here with his team, Dejer, Palomina, trying to find Ja and his crew. I want to see if they are also taking a safe path on this drop. Also, by the way, another amazing plane as it put everybody in a functional position. I don't see them. Where are these gentlemen? There's just many people. Here we go. Let's go check in on these guys. Jump on down. All right, so here we are. Now we got the landing. It looks like they're going deep in. They are being a little less safe. Actually, they could be in some trouble. So Shy Guy and his crew have been a bit of a homewrecker team in this game so far. They haven't necessarily won outright in a lot of their fights. They do tend to take some damage, take some casualties, but they definitely make life difficult for other teams. Ja and his crew, the current first place holders, are going to push down towards Pochinki. They want to get in here. I'm sorry. Yeah, Primorsk. They want to get into Primorsk. They're planning to go to combat, but Shy Guy and his team have something to say about that. If Ja, Shores, the King, and Player are taken out here by Shy Guy and his crew, that could spell the end of their dreams of being #1. So we're going to keep an eye on them. Immediately, a vehicle is grabbed by Fine, and I think Shy and his crew may choose to do the North Primo loot path and leave this area, Primorsk, to their opponents. That looks like exactly what they may set up here. Meanwhile, if we go to the opposite side of the map, you're going to see that Elion and his team, Benito, are doing the safe loot game. They're still going to go ahead and make sure that nobody catches them off guard. They've got 5. They've got everybody they need. They're not going too aggressively. They've got an AKM and a SCAR. So actually really decent loot for coming out of this little area. Wait a minute. Okay, King of 2v1 is all the way up there. And they are getting ready to maybe make their push down. Milta Power and Little Power both populated. We've got a potential fight in Pochinki as we do separate lootouts. Fishtown finally landing. No contest whatsoever and 0 military base. It was just too long a jump. What that generally means is that part of my friend's Georgia pool is about to become a shit show. We've got looters here. We've got some folks in the apartment red houses, and we got North. So North is very happy. No one chose to go crazy. It's actually pretty interesting. Very spread out looting system. Primo very comfortably in the hands of the King and Ja as they continue to try to hold their high ground. Let's see here real quick. I'm going to check in on the leaderboards from the last game as we look around at what's happening. So far, Little Power, no conflict there, not a lot happening. Let's check in with George. Looks like we might get some action. So we're going to pin in on Georgia Poll and see if anybody decides to go ahead and get involved with this fight as we look at the updated scoreboards from earlier in this match. George, no one at the hospital anymore. These two teams definitely walking around each other. Adika is still ahead. The Jaja and his team are at 60 points. Baseline, Alex, Sevens, and the boys are now at 58 after the last game on their wonderful performance there. King of Car 98 with Moloch is at 43. Born to Bash is at 38. And Natasha not even in the top 5. So they have a very tall order if they want to try to win this one. So a lot's going to come down to Jaja and Baseline. And now Baseline in an interesting position because Baseline is now looking at a potential conflict. They're on the outside skirts of what looks like might be a big fight. On this side, they can allow these two teams to fight each other. Red houses and apartments, the shots have begun. While they just watch from the high ground. They're going to go ahead and hit Hospital and try to hold as they wait to see what these guys get themselves into. One tap, fap, clap. Rustling's Potato trying to get a position here, but Ruby has got a great spot in this house as long as he doesn't allow himself to be flanked. He has the car, and he knows how to use it. So we'll pan back out as he considers his options. Throw up that X-ray so we can see where everybody is sitting. Meanwhile, Mezzo and his team are tucked into a house. But we've seen Mezzo and his team backed into corners before, and they are more than happy to try to fight their way out. One Tap Fat, by the way, Born to Bash here, is in 4th place. Mescu is in 6th. So this is a 6th and a 4th place team in this round of 3 going head to head, while the 2nd place team watches from the outskirts and looks to clean up. So this is a pretty important area right here in terms of final standings. Map and see what else is going on. The circle is going to force all of them to move here very, very soon. So they do have a very large onus in that context. Waiting for their chance to make a move. And it looks like Ruby and Little Bear and Mescu, this rank 6, are just going to back out. They see that they've got access to the hills. They're going to move up. No one is in containers. They don't know that, so they've got to be careful here. But they're going to pass on by. This puts Russelink and El Maniaco in direct contest with the number 2 team. So they do have to be careful because Hospital will very happily shoot them if they get the chance. Let's take a second and go see what Ja and his crew are up to, as they seem to still be doing safe loot, which I can't blame them for, out here in the middle of nowhere. Wait. No, so Ja's down in Primo. Let's go see the 1st place team. Uh-oh. Jump in on this. Looks like we got a little bit of a fight breaking out here. Pan out, see what's happening. All right. So, in the middle of the map, it was bound to happen. 3 teams went to the area in Preem. Who's going to come out alive? It's the big question. Enrico and Chocolate going to go push. IR on the wraparound. Oluxa and his team going to sit here and hold their position and hope for the best. Waiting to try and get vision on their opponents. No one willing to take the first shot. Meanwhile, we're going to hold off. John and his crew are uncontested by Shy Guy. It looks like the update for Alex in the... So the 4th and 6th place teams have all 100% disengaged from each other for the most part. No big fights have broken out there. And we'll go right on back to where we might have a little bit going on here as Preem still waiting for their position. They have so much time because of this circle. Neither of them are forced to push each other. They're just going to keep on waiting for their chance to potentially engage. And Rico is the brave one as he goes around. Chocolate a little bit exposed here. In the meantime, let's check in here down towards the Milton crew as they find themselves in a tough position. Firing at each other. It looks like the fight is... Uh-oh, Taki taking hits. Has to try to find his way out of this spot. He's stuck behind a car with the only escape position is in the warehouse, but all angles are covered by Moliak as well as Quake. Quake going to go ahead and push up to the tree. Has him inside of his sights. Taki has an entire crew, but they are not here to help right now. He's desperate for it. Sarah in a little bit of trouble. Taki, let's take a look at his perspective. It's just trying to peek the tree and avoid the headshots while he does so, as he now tries to get himself a kill. Has to worry about Cheeseballs, though. Cheeseballs sneaking behind, gets Sarah on the beautiful wraparound. Sarah's going to get taken out, and now Cake is down to 3 with Moliak on the high ground. Taki putting in some work. He was basically playing the bait game. Cheeseballs on the wraparound. Arts taking the shots. Cheese pushing in as well. They've got Arts from 2 sides. Dank is way on the outside as where DSNK. Arts has nowhere to go. Cake has to fall back to the Wizard Tower. Cheeseballs messing him up as Arts is knocked out. They're going to leave him. They're going to dangle him out there like human bait. In the meantime, it's Taki is going to get picked up as Moliak and Quake can do nothing but watch and hope that Arts lives. He goes down. The kills keep racking up for Quake and Cheeseball as they are doing a great job of pushing this team. Cake says, let's just leave, man. Moliak tries to, takes a lot of shots, and he goes down behind the tower. Cake has to decide, do I come back and save him? There's no angle for entry. He is essentially alone here as he runs and hopes that no one can see him abandoning his friend. No, he's not. He's going for the wraparound. He's onto the berm. He thinks just maybe he can get a play here. Let's look. Waiting for his chance to sneak out. All this guy's got is a red dot. Cake is definitely out playing, getting just wrecked, especially because of optics right now. He doesn't have a lot of options. Meanwhile, Cheeseballs wants to push. He's got it in his head that he wants to kill this man, and he's going to do so. He knows exactly where he is. Here comes the push. Taki to one side, Cheese to the other. Hardcore makes the jump. First spot, Taki, bang, boom! Goes the dynamite. Down goes It's Taki, or goes Cake, as It's Taki gets the shot. A nice sweeping push by both, and they will enjoy the fruits of their loots as they get the kill very quickly. Let's go back to Preem, where we see these guys still in the exact same position, the exact same deadlock, 4-on-4. A river, a moat, a road, it doesn't matter what it is, but it is the dividing line between these two teams and the ensuing throwdown. So we're going to stay here. We're going to keep an eye on what they're doing as we go back out and check in on the rest of our crews. Shy Guy coming north. The King and his crew, I believe, are moving up the river, so that should be Jaw and company. Shy Guy's driving 4 cars. So the Shy Guy and his team like this sort of wild card style of play where they just move his convoy. Primo, still no conflict. Let's check in here with Jaw as they are going to be moving around now. All right, so here they come. They don't have any contest, so they should be totally okay to go to ground here. It's a very smart location inside the circle. They will run to DJ, so we'll keep an eye on it. But back to Pochi, where they are still just staring at each other across the map. No one wants to make the first move. Both holding their ground, both content to potentially allow another team to catch one of their guys off guard. Chocolate's in a very dangerous position if somebody should come from church side. He doesn't have a lot of back cover. Gonna drop. Look at these. The exodus has begun as Oryx, Shy, and his team are all pushing hard with the cars, looking to get to the middle of the map. This is going to induce Pochi to action. So let's go back in here as we wait for our chance to see what these guys decide to do. The circle has revealed that they must no longer remain in a standoff. Meanwhile, there goes the Shy Guy and his team. I'm sorry, Rockline, Fine, DZY, as well as being chased by Sevens and Shy. They're going to take their fight across the map. There's a little bit of fire. They're taking some shots at each other. Possible flank. Iart and Aquas in a good position, but Enrico and Chocolat sort of left behind. In they come. Shy Guy and his team driving right along behind the church. Going to keep on going in their direction. Look at the map as we wait to see any conflict breakouts. Looks like we might have a little bit of action here at the apartments. Nope, still just a squad of 4 as we go for the high ground. DHC and Rakino going to get there first. That's going to be very valuable for them. King and Jaw will arrive, but DJ has left, so there's not going to be a conflict for them at this point. Everyone else in pretty safe positions as they finish up their looting and continue to move towards the middle. 59 people alive, and it seems like Pochi is the main configurator for a potential fight to break out. And smartly, Palomino and the team are going to be pushing down together, not allowing any additional lanes for their opponents to take as they move house to house with full cover fire. Let's move in close so we can see if that's indeed what they're doing maneuverability-wise. Palomino holds a corner. We see a push-up. They're going to lap his 3. Palomino gets the call. He moves now. They decide to back off, but he's unavailable to get through the hole. He can't make the crouch jump, so he has to go a long way. Ends up giving his life to Aquas, who's up in a really good position on that 3rd grab. What that means, they're going to shoot him. He takes out 2. Aquas is on fire as he's now got 3 down. Iart comes in from the other side. They've worked out 3. They finish off 1. And now it's 1 man left to try and res his friends as the collapse happens from IR and Aquas. They don't even need Enrico and Chocolat at this point as they're taking care of business all by themselves. Palomino's got nowhere to go. Feta inside says, come in and res me. Predator can maybe get something done. Decides not to. He's not going to res the man on... Oh, sorry, he's just low health. So he does get the res. Palomino now has to try to crawl for cover. IR on the walk. Now we see Chocolat going for the wrapper. He's going to have the range shot here potentially, as Palomino does get rezzed in the courtyard. So it is back to a 3v4. The problem is, it's 3v4 with a heck of a lot of damage on Palomino and his crew. Stuck inside, they're going to go into Blue House. They're going to try to lock up the levels, but now they are confined to 1 space. Not a great thing when Enrico and Chocolate are coming around your outside flanks. IR and Aquas have you pinned down, and more importantly, Aquas has the high ground perspective. Look at this. He's looking right down on the house. He's got great cover in this position. Can peek both sides of the window and really take it to him. If 1 shot on a couple of these guys is going to knock them completely out, so he has to be careful. Worth noting, though, Aquas, no helmet available, just a gas mask. So if they do get a good shot on him, it could very well be the end. Does a nice shot, holds the red dot, goes in, gets Palomino again. No one can show their face. They're freaking out. Feta is thinking about leaving. That's going to put him in exposed position. And he goes down again to Aquas. The second you move, Aquas finishes you. Knocked out another one. This Aquas is on fire right now. Just still watching. Now we see the flank rotations, and iArt will come around with a nice little play here to mop up, but here comes Enrico to finish the job. They know everyone is hurt. Palomino's the last one standing. iArt's been waiting. Boom. Goes the dynamite. Down goes the team. And Prebo is in the hands of Enrico and his crew. Well played. They walk out with 4 kills and 4 alive. King and Jaja playing right behind DJ on the corners of the map. They're doing a little bit of a fringe push. Yaz with some back and forth. We got King and the rest pushing in up on top. Let's check in with these guys because we've got a bit of a fight breaking out on the berms. Back and forth. Oh, this area is wonderful to fight if you get the advantage position. They don't seem to have it. Yep, they're firing down. Mescu and his crew. They play a cagey game, but that cagey game is not going to come to be as Mike and Nord got the position on them, locked them down inside of the pit, and there's just not much they can do. They're up against Ruby by himself. He managed to take out one of his opponents, but that is it as Mike 35 wants to make a push. They're going to go ahead and get up Nord as soon as they can. Ruby's going to now back off and try to get Mescu up. Mescu, one of the better shots on the team. They want to get him up first because he's almost dead. Keep him in play as much as possible is an absolute necessity for them. Meanwhile, though, both of these probably going to go down. Mike 35 pushing around the outside of the mountain. Interested, they are going to try to keep the advantage going. Nobody watching the downed men, though, as Mescu and Rube go ahead and get behind the next berm. Little Bear and Majek's going to try to get to them, but here comes Mike 35, maybe a little too aggressively, potentially, as he finds himself in a tough position. Now, we said Mescu's a good shot. Let's check in with him and see what he's doing. He's got that AR, he's got that silencer he loves so much. Takes the shots, gets it, but that grenade was just really well placed by Mike. Immediately, Mescu goes down. Ruby trying to do what he can do, but it's not going to be enough. And just like that, the fight is coming to an end. Ruby is the last man standing as they flank him from 2 sides. He prays, he hopes maybe he can take one with him, but it's probably not going to be. Another grenade goes down, and a shot from Ryman, and they go ahead and they take him out, losing 1 for the price of 4. So excellently played by those gentlemen there. Circles get smaller, and the guys on the apartments haven't had to move this entire game. They've been doing a great job of just hanging out as they go deeper and deeper. Paul Yasna getting approached from the north by Turgon. Elian and Kai look like they're in a running battle here. Go ahead and get in their cars and head out. They don't want to be involved with whatever's about to happen. They're just going to withdraw from a cagey engagement and head towards the circle. High ground house being held by King. Let's go check in with the apartment team. Actually, Russo, big old Pochi's back is having a little bit of action here. So we'll pan out, see what we can see here in the Pochi area. El Daddy Potato, 1 fap to tap to clap. These guys are high ranked, so if they go down here, this is a big get for every other team. It looks like Chocolate, Art, and Aquas are causing them a lot of trouble as they move up out of the blue circle. They got 1:30 to figure out what's going on with them. I'm not really sure where they're taking fire from at this point. It might be Ryman. Yeah, they look like they got their sniper rifles out, and they are just popping them. Nordslain killed 1 tap from a distance. He's all the way over there, so just really nice shooting by Nord. Oh, they got no cover. They don't even know. I'm not sure they even know where he is at this point. 8x scope is just too strong for this man. Let's go back in. Chocolat looks like they're not really... Oh, they're pushing the engagement, so they're coming in from the opposite side. The problem, Chocolat, this may expose you to the car snipe. Okay, they decide it is not worth the trouble. They figured out what's happening, that those guys are taking a lot of fire from mid-hills. They're going to push on. They're going to move towards Low House. Aquas, Art, and Rico, they've got their 4 crew. You keep them alive. That's the key at this point. You got 4 people. You got to make it happen. You got to stay alive. When you reduce to 2 or 3, you take a supreme disadvantage in this game. The snipers are still putting in their work. They're hurting Maniac, but they don't have anywhere else to go. The sniper, though, has to move. Nordslane can't stay still much longer as it's 18 seconds to the push. Meanwhile, back at the circle, if you will, these gentlemen are in a very, very good position right now. Nobody can touch them. They're sitting on some pretty good items. Looks like they are AR'd out all over the place. Let's go back to the map and see what we can see. As these guys are going to be coming in now. Looks like a big fight here for Elian and the crew as they tried again going for the care package. So far in this game has proven a death sentence for at least one team. In this situation, though, it's 5 in the crew were able to get the care package and eradicate their opponents who were camping them. Why? Because of this. King 2v1 went to the high ground on a massive flank and eradicated his opponents while the rest of his team watched. So King with 2 kills, and they get the care package. Let's see what's inside of that care package. Who is going to get it is the question. Oh, they're taking fire. There it is, up on the hill. Beautiful play. They saw him, they came in, they know exactly what's going on. Got really great shots, not a lot of cover. King can't help because he's so far away at this point. Remember, they thought it was a good idea, and it was. They jump in the car and they drive away, throw a smoke down, but they've already lost a man because of that engagement. In the meantime, what did they walk away with? Doesn't look like they walked away with enough to really make it worthwhile. Let's go back out. Everyone's spread out again. We do have some fringers just inside of the white. These gentlemen still literally hating everything about their life as they're getting torn apart by the snipers on the hill, man. They finally backed off. Snipers got to white zone. The problem is now they've got Chocolat and company inside of the blue zone within striking distance, and these guys just got a wind sprint. So we'll do a quick Gump Simulator 2017. El Patty Potato getting all kinds of virtual currency as he just practices his running. They're going to come in. They may run into a little bit of trouble here. Uh-oh. That was what I was worried about. Oh, this is really bad. So they made it inside. Chocolat and the team that won the Primo battle. Oh, lost control of the camera for a second there. TT Tours. They tried to push out, but what they're running into is the Snipe Nation over here. Nord, look at this. Nord has such a beautiful mastery with this car. Like, they can't even stop him. Now, Nord's going for the walkout. What he wants to do is get the kills to secure the points. More importantly, he wants to disadvantage his opponents with 41 left so that they are at a as he leaves, he knows there's now only a team of 3. They can get the kill and walk away. They don't have to take the whole fight, but it is working really well, this sort of style of play that he's executing. They got a long way to go. Now, these guys are going to run uphill. This could actually be devastating for them, as you see that they're going to head right up to El Maniac, Russo, and Patty, who were able to finally beat the blue zone. They've healed themselves back up. They have a great position, as Chocolate, IART are going to have to go uphill here. This is going to definitely get them in trouble if they see it. Oh, okay, there it is. Russo sees him. He's going to try to get the first shot, wait for them to clear off the trees. They know. It's a one-on-one. They see each other. The engagement starts out. Russo tries to get a shot off, forcing them into a triple layer down there on that tree. Not their premium or preferred positioning, as you can't really get that kind of cover in a line. You can't get the shots. You don't have the cover you need. They managed to do a little bit of damage. There's the advance, and Rico has to do what he has to do. He has to try to make it out. He's not going to. Does he get to the tree? He does. The jump actually saves him. I never support in competitive play, but he manages to do it. He's very low. Looks like he's going for a heal right now. They are managing to res IART. They throw down the heals. The fire. Oh, God, he's under my camera. And they do manage to take out Chocolat. So Chocolat is off the map at this moment. And Rico goes down with a nice flank play from Patty Potato. IART, the last man standing, ironically, was the first man to go down, but the blue has arrived. Death comes to us all. IART says, tough luck, boys. I gots to run. Russo wants to keep Maniac up. They try to finish the job, and IART still on the run. Can they do it? No. They leave him. He will be left for dead, and both teams suffer massive casualties, and honestly, all of that came down to the fact that that sniping game was so point on from farther away. We'll leave them on the running gun. We've got a care package down here. The boys inside of the apartments didn't even bother trying to go for it. They're just content with what they've got. Car, vectors, ARs, living the dream. IART finally goes down to Patty Potato, but they find themselves in what can only be described as a really difficult to win situation outside of the blue circle. You know, we've got squads of 4 still out. King 2v1. This is an important team right here. These guys were highly ranked. They're stuck inside of a shit shack, pinned down as they group up and begin to pray. Doors are being torn apart around them. All they can do is hope for a positive circle that forces their opponents to reposition. Pop over to here where we see another team fighting on the rocks. They are in a throwdown across the map with another sniper group, and they are in a much worse position than the guys over here. But that said, 36 alive, circle getting smaller. What you can see is a lot of fights breaking out around the map, and the team with the severe advantage is still Burnout TNT, and they're positioned inside of the apartments. They do finally have to move now, which may expose them to King. No Slain up here. Let's check in and see if Jaja and his crew are still putting in work. I don't think that they're... Did they get knocked out? Did we miss it? I think we did. Alright, so the first place team from... Nope, they are still here. So the King and the crew are still available. Let's check out... These are the guys who are leading the game right now, so we're going to try to stay with them for the moment so you can sort of see where they're at. They are in a nice little firefight across the map, but they're inside a circle. They're away from... Oh, no, they're way outside a circle. They have to finish this fight and they have to move. 51 seconds left. The guys up there are causing trouble, but they are not their main issue. They need to get out of here. Vehicle? I don't see a vehicle parked anywhere, so they're still going to have to be on foot. Oh, they're definitely in the circle. This is a great position. So Ja, the defending champions, in a great position to take this thing home. They got to worry Burnout TNT and their crew are going to be pushing in. Why are they purple? Oh, the colors have different teams. Well, that's really helpful. Sometimes you learn. Let's go check in over here very quickly with what's happening with Shy Guy and the team. Shy Guy playing the solo game. This is just like the first match we saw, causing trouble for other teams, has to push outside the blue. 8 seconds left. These guys are going to have to expose themselves on the push as well. Both of these teams in a dire situation. There's no other way to explain it. And they're just going to have to go. They don't have any options. So let's push in closer because we're going to see a big fight break out very, very quickly. DJ comes forward. DJ goes down. He put a little bit of damage on Shy Guy and DZ. The rest of his team comes out. Bader and the crew. DZ's got to reload and try to get this fight as they do the wraparound inside of the blue. Everybody's taking a lot of damage. Rakino decides to grab a bike and just bounce. He takes off. DJ down. DZ down. Shy Guy dead. They leave behind, and they're going to run for their Dacia as fast as they can, but they may not have the time as they've done a good job of locking them in place. Let's go back over to here. Check in with these other teams. Kaz getting wrecked from the house. Ja is firing. He needs to reload. They've got a great position in this house. They found the right spot. The circles have been with them all day. Apartment crew getting lit up over here as they get hit from all sides. El Patio Potato putting in a lot of work. Dead objects, PTFO, Team Slayer able to take out the King. King's inside. He's wrecking them as they go. Team Player, PTFO taking a lot of damage from them inside the house. Jaja and his crew are feeling that they may win the tournament today. Remember, these guys are in first place. They just need to rack up the kills, which they don't have any yet, actually, which is interesting. They're just playing the safe game. They know that if they can play safe, they've done this the whole time. Remember, they landed in a safe spot. They pushed deep away from everybody and just found middle circle houses. Nice smokes, lots of smokes all around by Oryx and the crew, but they're still getting lit up. All they have is a rock to their name. These guys literally are trying to survive by being Masons, but Ja and his team are simply not having it. The lean and shoot, the prey, if you will, but it's just not working. As look at this. Easy vision, easy shots for everyone else on this side of the map. Brutal, brutal, brutal. So we're down to 16 alive. We've got a run and gun here. King 2v1 and Team Player. Our team Player's the last man standing from the apartment. Remember we talked about how good their spot. What the? He almost takes out 2. They're overexposed now. Now they do have to worry about Red House. So the apartment crew, who had a really great circle for so long, was actually caught with their pants down because they stayed too long. Circles, a good circle can be deceiving, guys. Not anymore, Cal. Not anymore. It's not in the game yet. It's like Clax goes head-to-head with CCT. They're taking a lot of damage. They do manage to get the kill, but now they're stuck in the red. Clax will end up dying. King still in a good position. Oryx Hayes got to hold the rock. We're down to 14 alive as everyone continues to push in. Benito, Elian, King 2v1. They want to push the King. Lots of Kings, but only one can rule as this is the throwdown that's going to make it happen. Benito dies outside the circle, gets popped. Ja on the ground looking for the push. Elian's not expecting it. He could find himself in some serious trouble here. Going for prone. Ja on the hide. Wants to make the push happen. King 2v1 leans forward. Here comes Ja quietly around the outside. Let's see if he can find him. They don't know he's there. Now they hear him. They know something's up. They're waiting. The AKM is out. Ja wants to play. He sees him. He makes the move. He gets him down. He turns the corner, finishes the job. He wants to go. He's going to go down now. They're going to finish him. But he managed to take out 1. He's going to crawl for safety. But will he get out? He doesn't. So he ends up ultimately going down in that fight. His team left in the houses, but he does make it into a 1v3. Player Benny taking a lot of damage. The guys on the rock, strangely enough, still surviving pretty well in this 8 match. Everyone else died outside of the circle, so it's 3 versus 1 versus 4, and the rock focus, the team that was having so much trouble early on, is now fine because these guys are all focused on each other. King 2 is in the house. It doesn't matter how many people are circling up around the moat. If you've got a mouse in the house, you've got to get him out or he's going to hurt you. Smart play, the King player, Benny, decided to move into a new position. King's inside. He's got to try to wrap around, stuck inside of the crates. Doesn't have a lot of options. Meanwhile, Rock team immediately opened fire. They are inside of the circle, or about to be, as they can move into the shit shack. Problem is, wood shit shack, obviously destroyable, already half beaten up by so much fire. King 2v1, going around the outside of the red house, just like his opponents did a second ago. Player Benny gets popped by a car. The firing is out. They don't know what to do. They're definitely inside of some trouble, but they may already have won this game in 3rd position because of the points. King 2v1 was in the top 5. He needs to do this. He needs to get at least 2 kills. Doesn't get it. Now we're down to 2 squads. The fight is out. 4 versus 3. Full squad tucked behind a rock versus the King and Benny, who have a lot more of an advantage in terms of cover. That said, blue circle is everything, boys and girls. And if you look at this, let's go to looking at their vision. They are just barely inside of it. They have what they need to win this match. Back and forth, the King and Shorts. They're going to have to make their move here in just a second. We'll watch the perspective of these gentlemen as they set up to take their fights. They light up, a little bit of friendly fire. The King goes down first. He's going to get massacred on the outside. Lots of smokes, lots of prayers. Can they do it? Oryx Hayes trying to target out. He's got the 8x. He's now going to push. He wants to make the final play. He's got it in his heart. He goes, he gets the kill, and that's the end of it. Oryx Hayes gets 8 freaking kills. Twitch TV Savents gets 2. Anderson with 1. Alex with 1. They mop up in another massive match right here. We're going to scroll down. We're going to show all of the scores so you guys can see it here. 11 through 16, 6 through 11. But here's the big thing for me. At the beginning of the last game, the top 2 teams were Adika, ADK, that's Ja, King, and his crew. Baseline was in 2nd place with Alex, Sevitz, Oryx Hayes. They did a great job. Ja's team, because they played it safe, only finished with 3 points from kills, whereas Oryx Hayes and his crew from baseline played aggressive. They finished out with a massive amount of kills. And also 1st place. So they were only down by 2 points over ADK, which means I'm pretty positive, even though Cake and his crew also went very deep on KOK, that they are going all the way. That we should see during the update Baseline taking over and getting the win, because Baseline played aggressively. They refused to sort of go passive like we saw ADK do, and they came out ahead. That said, I stand by the winner. The MVP of that match was probably the circle. It sat on the rock. It allowed ADK to stay in their position. I'm sorry, Baseline to stay in their position. And ADK had no way to break out and take them out without fully exposing themselves. As you know, smoke, not the most dependable thing in the world because of the way the client-side effects work right now. They're just put in sort of an unwinnable situation. They did manage to get the 2nd place, which is going to give them a lot of points, but I just don't think that it's going to be enough. So, that said, guys, my name is Toffees. If you enjoyed the cast, please go over to Toffees TV. You can follow me at Toffees TV on the Twitter. You can follow all of us over at Auzom there. You can go to, I think it's PUBG, so PUBG.auzom.gg, the website, to go ahead and sign up for future matches. We're doing this every week, man. So come back. We started two levels of play, and hopefully if we get enough interest, maybe we can even expand from there. So go check it out. Get signed up. Had a real blast casting that for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, because I certainly did. Also, you can enter the feedback survey. It's posted on Discord, so if you're on a team that is playing, we want to hear what you thought of the tournament, or the format, all of that stuff. So head over to the Discord. There's a survey posted so we can improve events. Please go ahead and do it. Also, there is potentially a big announcement, and okay, I'm not going to say potentially. I'm going to hint. I'm allowed to hint at this. So I'm going to hint that there's going to be a big PUBG announcement from Auzom coming up later this week. Something in this week, maybe. So if you're not following Auzom and me, you're wrong, because you're not going to hear about this cool, awesome thing that's about to happen to PUBG. So check it out. Go over there. Let me pull up the Auzom. If you want to follow Auzom on Twitter, it's AUZOM_GG. Premier hosting service for PUBG, or you can follow me at Toffees TV, and I assure you I will also tweet that information out as it comes in officially. But guys, I am about burnt out in the throat department. I've had a wonderful time hanging out with you guys. Like I said, feedback appreciated. Tweet all of it to me or send it to me on Twitch. It's been wonderful having the afternoon with you. Have a wonderful day, a pleasant tomorrow. Play more PUBG, and as always, Toffees out.